say any member of parliament neighbor, the current IC says no member of the Jamaica Labour Party can get pension. Is that about members of parliament? For this integrity commission,
yes,
it's not members of parliament, it's members of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Wouldn't you be happy if you were able to have 160 million? You wouldn't call yourself rich.
Neighbor, that's $1 million US.
You still have to be working hard for your beautiful daughter.
You can't sit down, so you have about that and sit down. But neighbor, I've said this over and over. The PNP as a whole weaponize success.
Yes.
In an effort to keep their members always stretching their hand out, they weaponize success. Them tell us that. Them tell you that. Them tell the members the only way you can have anything in a Jamaica is if you do something wrong. And neighbor, a supporter said this to me one night and I never forget it. Him say, Andrew Wallace not supposed to have no money because him black. And it is okay we know if question Mark Golden because Mark Golden white him for have things. This is what one black skin man tell me on social media, neighbor. Never forget it.
Fascinating. So what are we going to do then, Chuck? Because I think this is the biggest item in Jamaica. In my view, how are we going to fix this integrity commission? The latest report is suggesting that more members of parliament, you are saying members of the Jamaica Labour Party, are probably going to be under investigation. Mr. Mark Golin said that more is to come. By the way, how would he know? Simple.
He has a seat at the Integrity Commission. He sits in at every meeting, I think by phone call or something.
You're talking.
Neighbor, he has a seat up here, neighbor. Last week, the Prime Minister was asking in an interview what is the status of his referral. And he couldn't tell us. But Mark Golden can go on a political platform and say, them have more come. How does he know? Because he have a seat.
That is true. That is true. Right. So solution, Chuck. How is it going to be fixed? Don't you think that the Prime Minister will have to take this on? The party celebrates 83 years. I heard you earlier outlining the history of the party. Because this party has been the party that has positioned Jamaica to be benefiting from the future now. And this is important. You don't think the party will have to fix this?
Yeah, but I believe that there's a plan to fix it. But you can't fix it until the Prime Minister matter is settled. I believe they have a plan. Changes will come to the operations and the personnel at the Integrity Commission. But as soon as the matter with the Prime Minister is settled, then they will go in, they will fix it. Neighbor, I believe that for the next 10 years, we should employ some people from overseas to come and run the Integrity Commission.
Well, that would be bad, sir, because are you saying that we're not able to govern ourselves?
Neighbor, you cannot find persons that doesn't have a political preference.
Oh, you mean we are that tainted?
We are that tainted. We thought Justice Sykes, we thought Justice what's his name? Panton. A career civil servant, a judge would have sit there and act without prejudice.
Yeah. You know, Chuck, you're raising a good point. And isn't this why the party wants to remain with the Privy Council rather than the Caribbean Court of Justice?
Rather than, yes. Yes. Because when I cry about the CCJ, it is corruptible.
It is. You're quite right about that, you know.
Right. It is corruptible. Yes. And remember, Aluma Samba said it. We call them civic group, but we make sure they are filled with PNP personnel. Now, majority of these judges right across the Caribbean are we old boys. Are you going to tell me that you can trust your life when a judge in a Jamaica can simply call him friend in a Trinidad and say, I have a case coming towards you, make sure.
Yeah. So you are saying that irrespective of where we sit in Jamaica in our various careers, there is a political side that we take.
There is a political side that we take. Some of us speak it out loud. Others just do act in silence. Right? They act in silence, and when time come, we thought that Justice Bestwick taking over would have brought changes to the Integrity Commission. But no, she come with the same thing. In fact, she now is even worse than Pantan because she's saying that people should not seek to defend themselves whenever they are attacked by the IC.
And that itself is a problem, because the fact that everybody
That
has to
itself
be
is a
taking their case to court suggests that how can an integrity commission? It's almost laughable, you know, sir.
It is laughable.
It's like when your teacher mark your paper, you don't trust your teacher's mark. You carry to give another teacher.
To give, yes.
You know, this is something wrong.
Technically, how is it now? How can the Integrity Commission say that because people are taking them to court, it is preventing them from completing investigation? No, neighbor, people only take them to court whenever investigation is completed and the file is submitted. Nobody can know what is happening before that.
What the Integrity Commission should say is that carry us to court if you want, because we know that our reports will stand to scrutiny.
Thank you. That is the confidence they should be showing. Yes, take us to court. We stand by our work.
Absolutely. And not only that, when people take them to court and realize that it don't make no sense, because whatever the Integrity Commission reports is factual, then people will stop doing it. The reason why people are continuing to take them to court is that in the past, their reports have been found to be flawed, as in the case of Peter Bunting.
Neighbor, I am not a US scholar. I am not a forensic accountant. But even me looking over some of the work of the Integrity Commission can find flaws in it.
Yes.
Me as a layman, just looking over it, I can find flaws with it.
Yes.
So are you telling people that whenever you come out and you say, we find that this person is doing this, they should just sit down and shut up? That is what they are saying in the neighbor. People should not seek to clear their name. Now, neighbor, even the madman sitting on the street who beg food every day is entitled to his good name.
Yes, and a presumption of innocence.
Thank you. Is entitled to that. How now is the commission so powerful that they believe they are not to be questioned? So they can. I remember in the neighbor, one of the reasons why they were cussing the so-called gag class is that a couple years ago we had a contractor general, Greg Christie, that the moment he launches an investigation into something, he was all over the news, calling up this person, we are investigating this person, we are doing this, we are doing that to that person. Therefore, sullying the names of these persons. Yes. Even before, and then now when the investigation proved nothing, this person's name is ruined. Yes. And they can't get back their name.
Yes.
This
well,
is
you
what
know, in terms of a legacy, Chuck, the party celebrating 83 years. I think, as you rightly said that the Prime Minister's case is going to be pivotal in terms of the changes to be made to the IC. But I think the Prime Minister will have to be bold, and I think he will have to protect the democracy by making changes to the Integrity Commission. Because if this remains, Chuck, a lot of people will stay out of Parliament.
Yes, yeah, but I've said that on so many occasions that we are not just Parliament, neighbor.
We're
going to lose credible people to represent us in many different facets.
That is true, sir. Yeah.
Because people are going to say, I'm not going to take a chance with my name. Do you think we can get somebody like a Audrey Marks to put her business and her career on the line?
But did you hear her, sir, almost be led to tears?
Yes.
Suggesting that she was getting a job for 320. Would you not take it, sir? Would you not take it?
But I stand today to believe that is why Nigel Clark left us.
Absolutely correct.
Yes.
Absolutely correct, sir. And here is a woman who is saying, I could get 320 million a year and I come here working for less than 30 million and you guys are doing this to me. Why should I stay in it? Why would you stay?
For the love of the country, neighbor.
But you could have loved country someone. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't.
Neighbor, I am 100% convinced that we left Nigel Clark because Nigel could no longer bother with the toxic environment that was created by the Rise United. And yet, neighbor, I blame them 100%. I blame them because this was not happening before 2020. Yes, we were politically challenging at the time, but it was never this dirty.
Oh my God. So it really is an existential threat to the democracy, Chuck, if we do not really sit down and have some conversations about the destructive element of this Rise United.
Neighbor, it takes, but here, as I said, neighbor, the problem is the Jamaica Labour Party, you and I and other social media persons, we can't do it alone. As sad as it is, we need the media. We need the so-called civic groups to realize that, hey, you are defending somebody that means this country no good.
Yes. Now, one thing more, Chuck, what you say in Parliament is you cannot be charged for. What they call it again, remind me.
Parliament is considered neutral grounds. There's a term for it.
There's a term for it.
There's a term for it, but it is considered neutral ground. So whatever you say in Parliament, you cannot charge somebody for it. You cannot sue them for this what they say in Parliament.
Fantastic. And Lambert Brown told a lie in the Parliament, and the PNP published it on their Facebook page. Why has the party not taken that matter up? Immunity.
Neighbor, parliamentary immunity, yes. Neighbor, neighbor, you cannot shame the PNP into action. I want you to understand how serious that is.
Yeah, but hold on. If you get immunity in Parliament and you repeat it outside, then that immunity is lifted.
Yes.
So
that is why I think
how can the party post that on their page and it just dead there so?
Neighbor, I will have to check as to see. But neighbor, I believe that there is several lawsuits in the works. We just don't hear about them yet. I do believe that there are several lawsuits in the work, neighbor. Right? I think we have some that is waiting on others to finish. And I think this one with Dayton Campbell was one that many people was waiting on to move forward.
Yes.
I believe that this one with Dayton Campbell, lots of person was waiting on it in order to file similar suit because they want to see the outcome.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you have some listeners there that are waiting to talk to you.
Yes, neighbor.
You could take them up. I could stay with you for another probably 10 minutes.
All right, neighbor. No problem. But yeah, but you have to. Yeah, we can't shame. Paul Stewart.
Blessings.
Blessings, sir.
No, but I agree with your argument, as it relates to the whole business of all the people engaged towards the government and the slanderous comment they make from time to time. I believe that they can get everything scotch-free, right? And give me
all right, just move. Yeah, your background kind of nice. Yeah, but that is it, man. You have to have, unless them have the moral capacity where you can actually shame them into action. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
right?
But I heard the Prime Minister making a comment, Chuck, about run them way. And what the Prime Minister was actually saying is that the fruits of the party is going to be what is the greatest evidence against the PNP, You don't think that he's correct?
Yes, he's 100. Remember, I said it several times that when it comes to the campaign for the 2030 general election, we will not be mentioning the PNP.
Yes.
Yes, I told you
the Prime Minister said it quite well.
The Prime Minister confirmed it there, so we're not going to mention the PNP in the 2030. We'll be mentioning the work. We'll be showing people the work. We have seen it now. Never in this country.
Listen to the Prime Minister.
Make this point. But I don't believe there is a better platform than this one. A platform of progress being made, buildings going up, roads being constructed, our travel advisory being upgraded, and we are being rated as the most peaceful country. Those who come to you with lies and nonsense, tell them to go away. In me, you have a leader who has vision. Listen to me now. A whole heap of leader, go to them bed and dream, and then come and tell you all kind of lovely things. They are very articulate. You can listen to them. You say, wow, man is so Englified. But ask them, show me what you have built. Show me what you have accomplished. Show me what you have done. they are the same set of people who are telling you the lies. Because people who have accomplished things, let the truth speak for them in the actions and the things that have materialized from the vision they have shown you. The people who, forgive me for taking...
That's it, Chuck. I think that the maturity of the people will, I think in a few years' time, look at what the Prime Minister has done, and that will determine how they will vote. Not the lies and the
neighbor.
Misinformation you see going around. It's emotive, Chuck, and it is going to die out. Believe me.
And that is why the Prime Minister is telling us we don't have to go down the same route that they're down. We must just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell the guy he believes that the truth will prevail eventually. And we are going to test it.
Yes.
We're going to test it, neighbor. And we are going to come out and talk. Neighbor, I believe we have a very politically smart Prime Minister now.
Yes.
Very politically smart. He's not quick to speak. And you know, I remember, neighbor, back in about 2010, when he was first tipped to take over the Labour Party, I have a good friend of mine, name was Bobby Lynch. And Lynch said, one of the reasons why the PNP feared wholeness more than anything else is that he doesn't speak often. They can't read what he's thinking. I remember, neighbor, from 2010, Bobby Lynch told us that, me and a friend of mine, he said they fear him because he doesn't speak. They can't know what he's thinking.
Yes.
And we're seeing that today. So, Richard.
Yes, sir. Yes. I think I want to bring to your attention. Look, before going, yesterday was awesome. It's like I was in a classroom, with a professor. Professor Chuck lecturing the class, It was beautiful. Now, I have traveled to more than 70 countries around the world back in the late 90s to late 2000, right? And every country I go, I look at Jamaica and say, when are we going to move the needle that we can become respectable, And I keep wondering, at any time, could we ever be feeling proud of our politician like how we feel proud of the athlete? But after Andrew Holness took over and started to show Jamaica that he is not a man of talk, he have action, he made me so proud.
Well, he brought lots of us, he bring that pride to.
And there's so much countries around the world who are always pointing to Jamaica. I want to go to Jamaica. Jamaica is a great country, even though they've never been there. Because of the positive economic output that the world has been teaching about Jamaica, has caused them to want to come here.
Richard, in 2018, we were the murder capital of the Caribbean. In 2026, 26, we are voted the most peaceful country in the Caribbean. Number 3 in the Western Hemisphere. That is a tremendous achievement.
It is.
For a Prime Minister to preside over. And it's not accident, we can actually trace and see the work that was put into achieving that. Right? So we know, we see many of us are proud, and some of them, Richard, they're not ashamed of the work, They're ashamed that it's not the party that they support is doing it.
Well, that's true.
The problem.
But there's another thing I want you to focus on with what Melissa had done to us. Our ratings never dropped from those rating agencies.
Never include one of them actually improved it.
Yes.
Hold on, Paul. Richard, I don't think many people knew this, But the quarter before Melissa, our economy grew by 5.5%,
I remember.
Yes, the quarter before Melissa, our economy grew by 5.5%. That is the largest single quarter growth since 1986. Since 1986, the largest. Right? So Melissa took away the ability for us to ride that wave. But we're coming back. We're coming back. I'm confident. And Paul.
Say, as it relates to Andrew Owens' leadership, right? Remember the first time we meet him and we have the business for Olympic and then coming at the business place and look at the people that are carrying on the place, you know, and I meet with people and things. And my question to him was simply this, you know, what is this vision for the country? See? And it is in the answer after a question, they tell me something, you know, because one was to understand that, you know, really concern myself with the look of smart item thing, you know. When the member of parliament or the family and all that, no concern about the vision, what was your plan, right? And as time goes by, we can see what was the vision available through his work to us as his constituents. And we can see it play out itself, and we see it more now and a more broader landscape now that he's now Prime Minister. So me at the time, me never have no doubt who he was and what he was about to bring to the table as a leader. I have no doubt about that. The challenge we have though is that the People's National Party with them serving all over this place seems bent and interfere with the messaging, right? Trying to create a narrative in the mind of the people that the Prime Minister is not trustworthy and the Prime Minister is a thief and the Prime Minister that can be on the outer side and the Prime Minister inner circle have to fight tooth and nail to fend off all that type of negative vibration there. See? And so we have to encourage ourselves and believe that we are doing the right thing. We have to do that.
Many of us, you know, we have the confidence in our Prime Minister. And I have the confidence in our Prime Minister has shown us. Now, that's why we speak. That's why we speak on the Integrity Commission the way we do, because we realize their intention, we realize how they're acting. Now, I for one would have loved to see the Integrity Commission brought a charge to Parliament and we cannot look at this person and say, well, yes, we need to take a look. But now, whenever they do that, we have to actually look at the commission itself because of what they do to themselves, because they were charged with going after the Prime Minister. That's what they were charged with, and they did it at the expense of their own name, right? So now we have to look at them, right? But I believe, again, I said this, I believe that there is a plan to fix them. We're just waiting on the proper time to do it.
And you know, Chuck, to add to that, I think that the intervention of the PNP into the Integrity Commission, the politicization of it, and it has happened for a long time, you know, and when it started happening, I think a lot of people did not focus on it to realize how dangerous it is. That when you politicize institutions, it threatens the functioning of the democracy. So I don't think at this point that the Integrity Commission in its present form and the members there will ever get the respect and the trust of the Jamaican people.
No, they won't.
That's just the truth.
No, they won't.
They will never. Okay, and that too is part of the PNP's own way of practicing politics, where they weaponized the reports they had against their political opponents.
Right.
And neighbor, it's not just when it comes to attacking and destroying institutions, it's not just the Integrity Commission they do it to, you know. They do it to the police force. Right now, exactly. There's an attempt to turn the JCF and the JDF into the enemy. They're telling people to hate these institutions.
Exactly.
Because they're doing the work. Let's go back to 2018, 2017 and 18, when the JCF was giving us the crime number. They were high every year. Murder is up, murder is up. They used to run with these numbers and wave them from flagpoles. But come 2023, when the trend now was going down, they were getting a handle on the crime monster. They were telling people that these people are liars. Don't you believe them? When we were getting the report from Statin about the poverty rate and it was high, they used to wave it from flagship. But when the report changed now in 2023 that it was reduced, it was the same thing. They went out and they attacked the institutions.
Yeah,
right? Yes. So whenever institution is not bending to their will, they tend to attack and destroy credibility. And they do it for two reasons, neighbor. So that whenever they gain state power, they've already poisoned these institutions. So they cannot be held accountable by these institutions that they have already turned people against.
But Chuck, I'm going to spend a little time around the police force. Remember, in the past, the argument around the police force, you can't trust them, you can't do this. And I'm a politician, and you could have piled for vote for man who say, him this and him that, on the side, the other side. Since the coming of Andrew as Prime Minister and Trump as Minister of National Security, you would have seen an improvement in the confidence level and the trustworthy level of the people towards the police force. So much so that when you look at the police force, you're not in PNP or JP, you don't even know what the political liking and the commissioner. And that is good for the country, and that is where the country should be. Right?
Once again, Paul, people are beginning to give police information. The police are fielding thousands of calls a day now with information about criminals. That is a big change from 5 years ago. The police was able, and I can't repeat this enough, the police was able to put an undercover officer in one of the most dangerous gangs that Jamaica has ever seen for well over 6 months gathering information. Because we have a different police force than the one that Peter Bunting said need divide intervention for.
Yes.
We have a different police commissioner. And we have a police force that is now being supported by the political directorate. Give them the tool and say, go do your work. We're not telling them where to work or how to work, but we are giving them the tools they need and send them out there to do the work.
But Chuck, there's another force in Jamaica that we're not looking at, and that's the Master Builders Association who joined force with the PNP.
They're not giant force, Richard. Carvel Stewart has always been an outspoken member of the PNP.
And a socialist. From the 70s.
They're not giant force. Remember, these people, and I see them and we're talking about works and how them to get work and what kind of work they're supposed to get. These are the people that used to run the works across Jamaica, the government contracts. And every single one of them overrun, overspent, under-deliver, every negative term you can think of used to be under their watch. Now, when we get in people that is actually doing the work, and now what we have now is a local apprenticeship program through them. But like I said, every day I say this, when something is good for Jamaica, the PNP will always be against it. China Harbour, regardless of how them come here, is getting the work done. And I am in support of them. Until the local contractors can step up, I am in support of China Harbour doing the work.
You're right with that, Chuck. You're absolutely. In fact, the project will take place between St. James, Chilani, St. James, Westmoreland, Hanover, Chilani, and somebody else, 4 parish. It's a French company that do it. No, yes. that's St. Mary. It's a 450 million US dollars project. The first phase started just a couple of months ago.
We are waiting for some local contract to be able to step up to the plate. Right now, we don't have them.
Yeah. So the fact of the matter is, the government now sideline the local people. Is that the government has noticed over time that these local people seem more interested in pandering to the political people rather than to the interests of the country, fixing the road properly. Or you explained that you fixed a road last week, up in the beginning of the year, and this time you have to fix it again. That don't make no sense. And then you will blame the politician and blame the government. So the government thief the money. And you as a blogger know on a circle. The government have to do a better job, so the government recognize it have to tie up itself first. Believe me, the government have to tie up itself first. What
people don't understand, Paul, is the amount of time where the government spend fixing itself before they set out to fix the country. We have to fix the institutions that were here. We have to fix the infrastructure that were here. Right? And it takes time. And that's why now we are just climbing the hill now. We set the foundation long ago. It was the first in many years that the term generational wealth was being in regular rotation in Jamaica. For the last 20-25 years, we never know nothing about generational wealth. Nobody never come and tell us that. because that idea, that concept was destroyed when the PNP thinks at the country.
Exactly. And yet when you listen to the PNP minded people, you get the impression, right, from them, and that is why we have to, on the vanguard, as I said earlier, to dispel them argument. It is the Jamaica Labour Party to really start out building local entrepreneurs in a very serious way, local business, bank ownership, amongst local people, So as I said, earlier on, when E.G. Hunter decided to leave the NAA, Mr. Yaman, the right thing, that man. That was the right thing. I hope the government this time ensure that somebody who actually know what the government goals and purpose is, that they can work with it. Because you cannot have a situation where you have road maintenance and you can't build out a team from in-house to take care of these small patches. And you have to employ people on the outside and give them contract to do that. That can't be good for the country. We must have a team, a local team. I mean, they're not give them the whole heap of work, but a patrol up road or up Moline Road. You should have a set of man come out of the company and just fix it, and it done. No extra cards to the state.
I think most of these agencies, Paul and others, need to be revolutionized. When I look at even the company's Office of Jamaica, the website that I used to use to verify companies' registration and stuff like that, that has been around for over 15 years, and it's the same thing. It is the same thing. Like we need to start putting people in positions that are working, that are improving the government. It cannot be where things are just the same. We have so many young people with great ideas who can come in, do things. AI is such a big thing now. We can utilize the people them. Like I find it troubling that a lot of things are the same, especially when it comes on to the government. Like, I don't know, a lot of things need to be changed, and that's what
the government should have clean houses, because a lot of deadweight PNP still in the places, and they're holding back the progress.
I believe so. I believe so, because somebody told me, right, that they went to the company's Office of Jamaica. They said they did the process online. They completed the application online. And when they went, they still had to spend another 3-4 hours there. No, that don't make no sense at all. You understand me? No. So the government really and truly needs to clean house, because a lot of things need to start moving. A lot of things need to start moving. I don't know if that's where the conversation was, but
you're right. Okay. You're right, because as I said, so when you look at a road surface, it have a pothole. We shouldn't be employing a contractor to go patch that. No, we should have an in-house team that goes around the aisle, goes around the carpet area and look at the small pothole come out, and within one day after, them come and then patch it to the highest standard, and that deal with that.
And Paul, that goes again to show you how the local government, the parish councils, the municipalities, how ineffective they are. That shows you how ineffective they are there, because Paul, there's a councillor in every single division, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a councillor in every single division and this is your job, are we not supposed to pass, Paul, and you don't know, say one patrol around this, so where you can call your parish council and tell them, say, hey, this need to go fix over this, so people are actually in the system that is not working.
Oh God, man, that about sister. That's what I'm saying, you know. Look here, there's my brother tell me, say some man come on the avenue where we live, and them a clean the drain. And my brother say when them look down the drain, a whole heap of sick left in the gully. Nobody's there to monitor them. Nobody's there to supervise the work. Basically, if it rainfall, it will flood again because that not the cleaning of it was done to any satisfactory standard. This is, I come back to we were saying, and this is where we are having problem. This is why we have pain points and people across the government. The people who must do their job are not doing a really good job. They're not doing it.
And when you try to hold them accountable, you hear say I fight poor people.
Yeah.
And they come back around to the same teachers again. They must say, okay, we need to start with performance-based pay, and everybody up in arms. But there's some things that we have to give as a nation. We have to do something where we're going to improve productivity and effectiveness in the country. And that's just the truth.
Guys,
Right?
when Fullerton was at the helm of the Agricultural Society, they have him all the time on the road, and he's never forward thinking. I have to challenge him, and I get in touch with the present agriculture minister and give him a lot of ideas. And one of the things that I noticed that a lot of the PNP farmers, they believe that they're doing the government a favor. I said to him that you need to look at how you heal per acre in order to move forward. You can't have this way the Asian type of doing agriculture. And this is where you see agriculture is taking off, because he is understanding that he even went to China and look at how they're doing the agriculture. So we have even Vietnam. Vietnam is well advanced in agriculture. They are the #1 expressor in coffee. I said,
Richard, I really don't think when it comes down to the farming aspect of it, I really don't think our people are interested in modern technology or modern ways of farming, right? And remember that farming was seen as the poor man's job back then, right? The poor man, if you're poor and you're going to farming, it's now that the government is placing an emphasis on farming, the importance of farming, then we're seeing people taking the industry serious. But a lot of things in Jamaica, we don't take a lot of things serious until we get the exposure overseas to say, oh, this is that and that is that, and this is how this works. Literally.
So Richard, what are some of the ideas you pass on to the minister? And you notice that he's acting upon them?
one of the things that I did put to him is about using motorized plow. That that the farmers can have less time plowing land with iron fart, because that damage your body.
And that's backward, man.
Yes, and he's investing money there. I let him know that when you have like 1 acre of the onion, you cannot look to get like £1,000. You have to strive to get like 3,000 to 4,000 pounds out of that 1 acre, because that's what the international benchmark has become.
Okay.
So this is what you're embarking on now. You're getting more out of 1 acre than you used to get before.
Yeah, because when you look at some of the big farms in America, sometimes a father and son run it,
Yes.
And them have the machinery to plant and the machinery to reap.
Right. Less labor.
But let me throw this question to us as Labour Party support. As I say, 83 years and a day. 83 years and a day since the party was formed. And again, Bustamante, who was a founding member of the PNP, walked away from the PNP in those times because from back then, he realized that the PNP was not willing to do what they were formed to accomplish. They're never willing to do it. So he walked away from it and he went and formed another party. But for me, I believe the Jamaica Labour Party has placed an emphasis on education since day one, and they have continued that to this day. We can trace it right through from Bustamante building out the basic school in 1944 to Edwin Allen in the 60s, right up to Andrew now. We can trace it, and they have always been that. But somebody else, what industry or what sector is the one that you will give the party the credit to say they have been at the helm of this since day one?
Manufacturing. Big time. Big time. In the 60s and in the 80s, manufacturing. Manufacturing that boom in the 60s and in the 80s. It has started shove off in the 70s. But it find its speed once again in the 80s. And has fallen now again in the 90s. And we know the different period, which party belongs to the different period. So manufacturing for me was one of the important linchpin at the party that set the party different from the People's National Party. And the evidence is available for all of us to see. Richard?
Yes, but one of the things that I look at is stability of a country economy, where from there growth can take off. And that's what the Labour Party do at all times, stabilize the economy, and then we see growth.
Yeah. Sis,
Chika, me know he's a young Labour, right? You know, see no star yet, so you can still give a response. You know, been to no star yet, right?
Hello, neighbor, still there? She can chat in. Hello, neighbor, still there?
Yeah, neighbor. Neighbor.
Hi.
The question is, what industry would you credit the Labour Party that from day one they have been the leader in maintaining this industry through Jamaica? I said the education, Paul said the industry,
manufacturing industry.
Richard said the economic stability. Where would you put the credit?
Well, I tell you something. I was looking at the Labour Party's contribution to Jamaica yesterday, and I realized that Norman Manley focused on the legal aspect of Jamaica's independence. Bustamante was focusing on the rights of the workers. In other words, the Labour Party has always focused on workers being a part, being owners of all industries. I don't know if you noticed that the PNP in the 90s literally destroyed 44,000 businesses.
Yeah, but I speak on that every day.
You know what I have learned? That it probably was a deliberate strategy to suppress Jamaican entrepreneurs, you know. In other words, the workers were owning too much of the house called Jamaica. And if you look at what is happening today with Wholeness, I think Wholeness is being particularly attacked because Wholeness wants to reclaim the Bustamante idea, you know, of giving ordinary Jamaicans a stake in their country. In other words, if you're an ordinary Jamaican, you should be able to open a bank, open a business, run any company you want to run. And I don't think that that is very comforting. As a matter of fact, I think that's where the struggle is in Jamaica today. It is that the playing field is being leveled out. So I think that is how I would answer that question without even stating any particular industry. Because when you look at, for example, bauxite, I hear that the bauxite company Alpart is
about to reopen.
Is about to reopen. I think that is really the thing that I would credit the Labour Party with most of all, is that they have always wanted the worker, the ordinary Jamaican person, to feel that they have a stake in the country and that they can become anything they want to be.
Neighbor, you said something there, and let me tell you something that I've repeated several times. One of the reasons why Andrew is being attacked, one of the reasons why Nigel Clark was being attacked, is when they decided to open up the Jamaica Stock Exchange to regular Jamaicans. When they made that move, telling regular Jamaicans that, hey, you can actually buy some stock. Remember, regular Jamaicans never used to know what was the stock exchange, you know, so that people cannot actually make money on it, you know. That was left up to Mark Golden and his friends. When Nigel Clark, when they were privatizing, what's the first one they use again? Wigton Wind Farms. Wigton Wind Farms. And they decide they're going to sell it to regular Jamaicans. They're going to put an order in place that says no big company can buy all these shares, no rich people. That was one of the reasons why they hated him totally, you know, because he opened up regular Jamaican to their avenue of wealth creation. It just what the regular Jamaican realized, but I can walk in and buy some stocks on the market and let my money sit there for a while. That is one of the reasons. And labor yard, yes, you mentioned tourism. I mentioned it yesterday that we have 5 cruise ship piers in Jamaica, 5 of them. And all 5 was constructed by a Jamaica Labour Party team. All 5 of them, bar none. Cruise ship pier. And people don't understand that Jamaica makes money from cruise ship stopover than any other time. Cruise ship stopover is probably what earns Jamaican more of the foreign exchange. Yeah.
You call that institutional building.
Institutional. But when neighbor speak up destroying 44,000 business, you know. I mentioned it, I said it yesterday. When we speak of FinSoc, we speak of financial and money, the finance sector mashup. But it had the tentacles right across every sector, you know. Because we didn't have any money, there was no money coming in. So they couldn't invest in our national security. So during that time, murders skyrocketed to over 1,700 annually. The police force dwindled down to barely over 7,000 members. The JDF dwindles down to barely over 4,000 members. There was no technology, no vehicle. So my time you call police. May I remind you of these things, you know, people. You call police station and tell us we have a 1 car, yes, but if you want we come, you have to buy with some gas. That was a thing in Jamaica, people. When you call 919, then tell us the car there.
Yeah, but gas.
If you want, we come check out your report. You have to buy with some gas. Not just that, but we had also 2 cars before you. So when you buy the gas, we're going to check out them 2 cars before we come at you. That was a thing in Jamaica, people. Now we have a man. We have a situation where them tell you, say, at no time in the future should the Jamaica Constabulary Force have more than 1,600 operational vehicles at one time. That is a standard that is now set. At no time must they have no less than 1,600 operational vehicles at no one time. For the first time in our history, every single police station have at least 1 working motor vehicle.
True. I mean, Soji.
Right.
Boy, Chuck,
So
you not say it good, man. You not say it good, Chuck. You not talk say you have to wear a uniform till you drop off for you. Are we there? Eh? You remember that part there?
Yes, people used to do it in a sunburn uniform.
Eh? Me say you have to wear the uniform till you drop off for you. Watch this, no, man. You see, if you ever make a mistake, Chuck, and left your shoes out the door, remember say come tomorrow and have no shoes. Because man, with shoes will pop off already. Him just switch out that. And them the thing they used to go on. You hear me say to you, say, if you ever make a mistake and left your shoes careless, I hate that. Come tomorrow and have no shoes to work, you know.
Soji, you know, say,
Yeah.
Last year there was an interview with I forgot his name. He was one of the business leaders for Montego Bay. And when he was asked about Russell. When he was asked about the changes that he saw in the JCF, you know, so one of the thing him said them well fed now.
Yeah,
yes.
Well fed.
He said them well fed. When you see them, then I beg your lunch money again.
But I tell you something, Chuck. Paul. You know that. All right. So if me did really trust this thing I took, and I put $1 million on his stocks, the highway, I would have 2 million plus today in not even a year. Would you believe that? My money
I know
double.
that.
But my money double in just look a bit over a year. You hear what I just said to you a while ago?
There was a young man in the last year posted it on his status that he made.
Yeah.
He invested what? 1.7 million and now we have $7 million on the stock market. And that's why I agree with Soji. One that they hated him because he opened that income stream to regular Jamaicans.
But all I know, Chuck, every prime minister never encouraged me never buy none. Every prime minister never talk about it. And I say, me never go there. Because I always hear about it, but me never go. You hear me say to you?
Because we also think it's only for the rich.
Yes.
But a point here. When the financial sector collapsed, one of the things that breaks my heart, some poor farmers who have their little savings in the workers' bank, they lose every damn thing.
Everything. And that's why I'm saying to Richard, say, we may think of it, say at the financial sector. But the damage from FinSac Jamaica will never recover from it, Because even if we build back with institution, we are still gonna be 30 years behind, but we can't catch up. Education suffer because of FinSac. Health suffer because of FinSac. Tourism suffer because of FinSac. That is the legacy we cannot be rebuilt.
And then this fool comes here and set the record straight at a PG.
without apologizing.
Yes.
And then Mark Golden stood on a platform, Richard, and tell the people of Jamaica, tell PNP people to jump and cheer that FinSac during the 90s was the greatest time in Jamaica. When we lacked 44,000 business, when the murder rate was 1,700. When people lose them job, people lose them livelihood, when unemployment rate was in the high 20s. I saw a report. I think it was CVN. I wanted to download it and share it, where they were speaking now about children growing up at home without parents because the parents overseas working. And it is funny that is now they are doing that when the stigma of the barrel children is something at the 90s. The barrel children, when the parents run and a barrel alone and come out here, that is something of the 90s. When business place locked down and the parents have to run go overseas. Right? That is it. So them are doing the report now, but I think they're falling short. My people, Soji, Richard, it is now match time. France versus Morocco. I'm going to support Morocco. I'll soon come back.